For Greg Biffle, a change of crew chief, but no change of luck. He cut down a right front, pounded the wall in his Roush Fenway Ford, and is headed for the garage. Look up in the shadows of turns 1 and 2 for Biffle.
Yeah, he's already in the wall there, but I tell you, he's had a rough year with right front tires there. He blew out one testing at Vegas, and I said it was the hardest lick he'd ever taken in his life, and he's had a couple of hard licks this year.
That was a very hard lick there, right dead middle, looked like in the middle of 1 and 2, straight up to that wall.
Straight in.
Biffle's in the garage. Joe Nemechek had either a wheel bearing problem on the right front or a tire rub. He is coming pit side. There's Nemechek on the apron, smoking from the right front. And pit road will be open.
And it's going to be very busy, probably with all top 35 cars that are on the lead lap. Dick Bergman, they're coming your way, buddy.
And we're ready for the restart with 36 laps to go. We know him as Mark Williams. Well, some of us do. We all call him Hoppy. He's one of our audio guys. He's undergoing chemo, and for our Emmy award-winning audio crew, and especially Hoppy, let's crank it up. Trouble, turn 1. Stewart sideways and a melee.
The problem was the 48 just lost a left rear tire, I believe it is. The tires started rolling off, and all these guys checked up, and they got run over from behind.
I mean, we have a bunch of tore up race cars down there.
There's
the Elliott Sadler, the 19 car.
There's a melee.
Johnson was slow in the backstretch and held up a bunch of cars coming off turn number 4, but there's David Gilliland and Jamie Mack. They all piled up in one. Watch the 48.
Here he is right here. He's the guy that's, he's got them all backed up here. The tire comes off, and now they just start trying to dodge that. Gets all bottled up. Stewart's in there, and he gets hit from behind by the Cat car.
Kevin Harvick, you saw the 29 car sideways. And it was like the tread came off of the tire.
It did.
It wasn't that the wheel came off, just the whole tread.
The tread came off the tire.
See Jeff Green involved, Gilliland, and Johnson drives away. It all happens behind him.
Yeah, but he's getting in trouble right here, and he starts slowing down. I think Carl Edwards has to slow down, and then the tire comes off, and that's what confuses things.
A lot of guys in our top 10 in points, top 12 in points involved there.
Clint Boyer has driven back to the pit road area with damage. Sterling Marlin goes to the garage, but everybody is okay. David Gilliland, Jeff Green, Johnny Sauter, Joe Nemechek, and Greg Biffle were already in the garage. So 7 cars taken out in that pileup in turn 1. Kurt Busch will lead them down for the restart.
You want to talk about misery? Sat out there all night in a wrecked race car.
Still running.
Yeah, still going.
Still got a long way to go.
Matt Kenseth, that yellow car with a launch off turn 2 and a full head of steam, hunting second place. Denny Hamlin.
Kenseth's car looks pretty sporty on the fresh tires.
We talked about that green car earlier, that 18 car.
Trouble again, guys. Got into 24. Yo! Man, Jeff Gordon took a lick.
Yes, he
Jeff
did.
Burton took a lick.
And they're still wrecking Allmendinger, Robbie Gordon.
Boy, I don't feel good about Jeff Gordon at all. That was a hard nose-in lick right there. His car went airborne and hit so hard.
The car that had just gotten the free pass was Tony Raines, and that's who
Be careful on the tip now.
got hard into Gordon. There's Allmendinger's Toyota. And there you see Jeff Gordon. He's got the wheel off on his DuPont Chevy. and he will climb out okay, and that beautiful paint job is all done. Allmendinger's okay. Darrell, what are you fond of saying? Cautions breed cautions?
Particularly on these tires. It seems like with the grip factor being pretty low on these tires, the first few laps, every time we've had a restart over here for the last 10 days, has resulted in some of this.
Watch the 24 of Gordon, who came in here with the biggest point lead after 11 races anybody's ever had.
Raines just gets loose off 4, and he gets into Jeff, and Jeff about has it saved till he gets out in the grass, and man, he takes a licking, and watch Allmendinger lift him right off the ground.
I mean, there was nowhere for A.J. Allmendinger at 84 to go.
No, that was...
You know, Jeff Burton in the 31 got very little of that. A little bit of contact on the nose, but...
I think he got a lot of left side damage.
Okay. Let's watch from the Goodyear blimp.
Jeff Gordon he came so close to getting that thing saved.
3,400-pound cars just bouncing around like basketballs.
Jeff is all right looking at the remains of his car. Comes across right in front of Allmendinger. Oh, that's a hard hit.
Oh, it is.
Even though it's the safer barrier.
Oh,
that's a hard hit.
That really scared me there for a moment. I'm glad he's okay. Got out fine.
And, you know, just watching Tony Raines get loose there, we talked about that in our keys to the race. Easy on the restarts, down on low air pressure.
From Jeff Burton. Let's see how much of this he gets.
Still there, still there. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Easy, easy, easy.
Now you can see, you folks at home, that's what he sees. Nothing. It's it's a lot of instinct. It's a lot of luck. You kind of go where you saw him last.
And his windshield won't clean that easy.
No.
Damage to the left front of Raines DLP Chevy.
Off and start shaping that up.
Free pass car would have been Allmendinger, but since he was involved, there will be no free pass.
Right here is a battle between the 36 car of Jeremy Mayfield and Jimmy Johnson in the 48 car. This is a battle for 18th. You see Carl Edwards in the 99. But right now we have 3 Toyotas running in the top 20. Remember, we go to a racetrack right now, all 7 Toyotas have to qualify on time. All of them made the show with the exception of Michael Waltrip, David Ruderman, who actually crashed qualifying. Toyota brought a little different engine package here, not as far as the way the engine is assembled or built, but just trying to move some of the power to the bottom end to get the car off the corner. That's something the drivers for the Toyotas have been complaining about.
Yeah, they reconfigured the engine. They just took away some of the volume in the cylinder heads, intake manifold, went to a smaller package, a little more velocity, a little more torque, different headers, tailpipes, tuning items.
Whoa, Jeff Burton's in trouble. He was all by himself down in 3 and 4. Remember, he'd been to pit road for major repairs. I think a tire went down or something happened. He's exactly right. Caution is out.
Steve, what happened?
Mike, I just went down to their pits to check it. They were on pit road about 5 or 6 times. The comment was the car was so loose he couldn't drive it, and that was literally 2 laps ago.
Yeah, Steve, he just lost it all by himself, but I think, like he said, it felt like something broke.
Yeah, you sound like a tire. I believe he lost the tire going in there.
So the 1999 and 2001 winner of this race. has had a problem.
Now, pit road is open. I think this is a caution that a lot of those guys that pitted on the last caution were wanting to see, because I really believe the guys at the front will need to come in, because we're 30 laps into this run, even though a lot of them are under caution. But I think it's about time to get in there and get some fuel at least.
I'm going to do if I'm Kurt Busch, I'll do what I did last time. Give me some fuel. I'm getting out of here, because I do not want to get back in that melee back there.
Well, Dick Berggren, what will they do? Jimmie Johnson's last 8 races at Lowe's Motor Speedway. First, third, first, second. Now he wants the lead.
I think his average finish here, Mike, is something like 2.2.
It's phenomenal.
But his car is just so good on the bottom, especially, boom, right there when he goes to pick that throttle up, he just pulls away from victory by about a car length.
2 car just got out of control and hit the wall. Turn 2 over there, guys.
Caution will fly.
It looked like, I don't know if it stepped out or something happened to it, but the back end just hopped around. And I'm telling you, that car was not near as good as it had been before the changes they made here on this last stop.
Boy, Darrell, that was a great save.
I don't know what happened, guys. I got the track cooled down. We went to crap, man. Feel.
Watch this thing. He's in. Little loose, and around as she goes.
Well, you put a dent in one beer can and the other gets the free pass. Dale Jr.
But you heard what he told his crew chief, Troy Raker. I don't know what's happened. This track has just cooled down and we have lost it. Remember what we talked about, keeping up with an ever-changing track. Actually caught that wall pretty good with that right rear.
He really did, but Larry, I watched them. They screwed down, they took wedge out of that car and they freed it up too much.
Kurt's wife, Eva. Oh, don't worry, we're not even halfway yet. Plenty of time to make that up.
But I just think of so many races where Kurt has had such a great car. There's his crew chief, Troy Raker.
We're going to put the track bar back up 1 round.
There you go.
Last week in the All-Star race looked like they just had got it dialed in. And go back to the Daytona 500. I mean, he absolutely had the car to beat.
You're going to need some bear bond over there. Somebody can take it with.
Well, wasn't it ironic that the car that he crashed with battling up front in the Daytona 500 was the one right behind him right there, Tony Stewart?
That car is not hurt. That car is going to be fine. They banged that quarter panel back down. Spoiler's still standing up there where it belongs. He's going to be all right.
You'll see the lead that Vickers has built up. He's got Johnson now by more than 2. Carl Edwards by more than 4. Kyle Busch and Tony Stewart by 5 and 7 seconds respectively.
And I just don't think we can.
99,
Carl Edwards.
Turn 2.
And he was running in the 3rd position with this 99 car.
Boy, it's got to be a tire. Got a tire.
Dick?
Yeah, the crew has just sprung into action. He had been running so well, but they are getting ready to change tires on the number 99.
Oh, and who'd he take with him?
His teammate, David Reagan.
Oh, no.
And Bill
Elliott piles in.
Come on around if you can.
What was up with that?
But I'm telling you, that breaks my heart for David Reagan in that 6 car. He had been running in the top 10 almost this entire race. And remember, started this race at the rear of the field because of an engine change.
And Bill Elliott doing a fine job for the Wood brothers, trying to get them back to the top 35 in points.
Well, this won't help their cause any, that's for sure.
Well, let's see how this unfolds.
Certainly know what was wrong with the 99. He had a right rear flat. See right there, he saves it and doesn't hit the wall.
Kyle Busch in the 5 just gets by. He knows he's in trouble right here. This is going down the back straightaway and going off into 3s where he gets in trouble.
And going pretty fast too, Larry. I mean, he's not slowing down with the right rear tire already down. I mean,
there it goes.
Walked out from under him.
He goes up the racetrack. Boom. Nowhere for his teammate to David Reagan to go.
And who would have thought it? And then Bill was just, I'm not sure there wasn't fluid maybe that Bill got into.
Well, Bill had Casey Mears on the inside, Darrell, and a car coming fast on the outside. Nowhere for him to go.
See the right rear there, it's just flat already, and this thing goes around, and Carl could have just kept it down.
That's a shame for David Reagan.
That's a pretty hard lick right in the door.
There's Mears, and yeah, Bill Elliott, no way to escape that one. Gosh.
Yeah, Mears just threaded a needle between those 2 cars.
Carl was going pretty fast to know you got a tire flat.
Yeah, when he spun, he was at 90 miles an hour on our Fox tracks.
Well, I know we're just past halfway. I don't know we have a hard luck award, but that 6 car, David Reagan, that whole group certainly would be the recipient of it.
That's 3 Fords taken out at one time.
Let's check with Krista. Green flag. Riding with Jimmy Johnson, looking back at Matt Kenseth, making a run off turn 2.
Now, one thing I've noticed about Kenseth, he is really good on new tires, which is kind of unusual for him. He's usually a long run guy, but I've noticed tonight he goes on new tires.
Tony Stewart slips into 3rd.
But that 17, Matt Kenseth did get a run
trouble.
off turn
Kyle
2.
Busch is in the wall.
Yep,
He actually slapped it pretty good with the right side.
he did. It's pretty used up.
No caution.
And you know, I was just about to say, I think the biggest thing Alan Gustafson with the 5 car, Kyle Busch, and Doug Richard with Brian Vickers is remember we got good cars, be patient.
And you know what, though, Larry, with the 5 car, and I think it's a young guy, a young driver, they had trouble in the pits. They had to change a battery. He'd been up front. Now, all of a sudden, he loses his focus, and he gets concerned about what they've done to the car, having to change a battery, and he overdrives the car.
And you could see him, he got up there almost just too high in the late exit of turn 4 where there's no grip. Car just lost grip, hit the wall.
You've got to, when things happen, you got to let it go. You can't let that mess up the rest of your night.
Now Brian Vickers restarted back there with Kyle Busch. Vickers now running in 12th place.
NASCAR official John Sacco also knows firsthand what the words heroism and sacrifice truly means. His father Joe was a decorated soldier in World War II. The first beach he ever saw was Omaha at the Normandy invasion. He and his buddies in the 92nd Battalion fought their way across Europe under the leadership of General George S. Patton. After a year of fighting in the most historic battles of the 20th century, Joe helped liberate the Dachau concentration camp. And thankfully, for history's sake, he recounted all those tales in his book, Where the Birds Never Sing. So those heroic men who lost their lives along the way will be remembered always.
Thanks, Matt. Joe Sacco is waving the pit road is closed flag because Kyle Busch trying to keep his car on track after hitting the wall in 4, keeping on track until the next scheduled pit stop. Didn't make it.
I'm surprised that he made it this far. The right front of that car was really killed when he hit the wall earlier. Finally cut that tire down.
That poor right side has taken a beating. We talked about it earlier in the show. Right as practice started last night, he hit the wall at the right side. They spent that entire practice and this morning repairing that car.
And wrecked his Busch car. And you know, all he really wants to do, I feel really sorry for him. He's all I want to do is get through a weekend without any issues. But boy, the last 4 or 5 weeks, he has worn these guys out.
He is running half a second behind Brian Vickers, half a second ahead of Jeremy Mayfield. JJ's in 8th place.
Now the car I'm getting a little concerned about, though, right in front of JJ Yaley, Brian Vickers in that 83 car. He has lost several positions. Krista, this 83 car okay?
Well, that power steering issue, it was intermittently going in and out. Well, it's out.
Turn
Doug
2.
Richard said,
Excuse me, Krista. Casey
No, go ahead,
Kane's in the
trouble.
wall.
Right in front of the 83 car. Caution will fly.
Out.
Well, I've been watching that 9 car, and
Well,
he
got
was.
the right side a little bit, Kenny. I don't think it'll be too bad. Maybe the right rear corner the most.
No, buddy, it's a lot worse than that. To the right front, whole right side. But I've been watching him, and he was driving the wheels off that thing, trying to get one of those laps back. And he just goes down here, and it just jumps out from under and getting in. Right here. She's loose, and around she goes, but not around, but it hits the fence.
Boy, and he pancakes it right there.
Yeah, he hit it hard.
I'm sorry, Krista. Let's back to you. Well, you get Matt Kenseth at the outside on a restart. Oh, Kurt Busch. He had a tire go down earlier, fell back off the lead lap, and now.
And he was sitting there 1 lap down. First car 1 lap down. That's going to do him. Pretty well it's done him in.
Car that led 107 laps in the early going of this race.
I think they just adjusted themselves right out of the ball game, looked to me like.
10-4, we'll see you in the garage.
That thing's.
That's the 12th caution flag of the night for Kurt Busch in the Miller Lite Dodge. Well, Casey Mears is third. He finished second last night. Big weekend for Casey. What's Darian Grubb want to do? Steve Burns.
Let's find out, Mike. Darian, you guys have consistently been in the top 10, then the top 5. What can you do for Casey to help him win this race?
We're going to try to work a little bit of his strategy here, maybe try to help him out. We're just real happy, and I'm real proud of this National Guard GMAC team for sticking there and fighting. We haven't had the year we've been looking for. This is a good, strong showing for our team on Memorial Day weekend. It's just really proud to be up there and just we want to finish where we're running. Good luck. Thank you.
Car in the wall up in turn 2. That was Brian Vickers, and he's going to make it around to pit road with right side damage.
Yeah, he cut a right front down, I reckon, and got the whole right side of the car torn up. That's unfortunate. This car has been so good.
And there's the caution for debris from Brian Vickers.
Doesn't really surprise me because he rode that wall pretty good down at 1 and 2.
Now, here's what's very interesting about this caution. We have 63 laps to go. Can't quite make that distance on 19 gallons of fuel. So, boy, what a tangled web we have now.
Well, you could make it if there were a couple of cautions.
Need a few cautions to complement it.
Not very funny, but very interesting.
14 cars are on the lead lap. We will add one more.